Yo, it's your boy KEYZ. Yup, Keys 757. And you are now listening to Up for the Bait. This is episode 3. I have a special guest this time around. My good friend, longtime friend, Mouse. I let him introduce himself because he got about 100 names.
What up? It's your boy Mouse, a.k.a. Swim Team, a.k.a. Sushi Woo Manel, you understand me? And we rocking with Keys on Up for the Debate.
Appreciate that, man. Hey, man, so, like, if y'all, paid attention on the last episode, we got a little format, so we're going to keep it going. And I like to start the show off with, thought-provoking questions, so we could just, begin a discussion or whatever. And a couple that I came up with, I'll start with the first one. If you could have no more challenges or obstacles in life, would you?
Hell yeah, what you mean? Life would be easy to the mud.
When you get bored with that, though?
Nah.
So you just, no more challenges, no more challenging yourself.
I just want what I want.
You just want what you want. Okay, explain that, though. Like, why wouldn't you want any challenges to, try to, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, I had so many, and I ain't nowhere near what I want, so why would I want to keep them? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the beauty of it, though. You know, you go through the challenges to get what you want. That way you can better appreciate, when you reach your goal.
Yeah, they say that, when you pay for something on your own, you appreciate it more, but sometimes I like when other people pay for it because then I still got my money, you understand me? I don't know what y'all be talking about. No obstacles.
I feel that. All right, look, check this out. All right, do people in your life bring the best out of you? Right.
Sometimes.
Right.
Depends on who it is.
Like, what you mean?
Well, shit, your moms, she try to bring the best out of you, keep you on the right track. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes your friends, sometimes they wouldn't keep you on the right track, keep you motivated. And sometimes they want to get you into some shit you don't need to be in.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So
that's how you can differentiate with who, supposed to be in your life and who ain't. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, but at the same token, I feel like sometimes if you live your life too far like that, it can become very selfish. Like, oh, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you in my life. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of know the difference.
I feel that.
Yeah, kind of know the difference. But before we move on to our next segment of the show, y'all know what time it is, man. I'm getting my sip on. So for those who sip out there, sip with your boy. Thought I forgot, huh? No, sir, negative. Okay. Our next segment of the show, when we dive into trending news. And I got a couple of interesting ones, man. Like some shit that caught my attention. Now, the first one was, headline says, Indiana hospital sued after more than 1,000 patients potentially exposed to HIV and hepatitis. Yeah, what you feel? How you feel about that? Just hearing the headline.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
How that even happen?
Right.
Yeah, they need to get shut down. Fuck sued.
Right. So, apparently, a hospital faces legal action after it potentially exposed more than 1,000 patients to bloodborne viruses such as HIV and hepatitis by failing to properly sterilize surgical equipment. Now, how does that make you feel? Me personally, I already have a problem when it comes to surgery and shit. Like, I'm already I don't want to do that shit. Yeah. So now knowing that there are places out there that, because we normally we give doctors and a lot of professionals trust without even knowing them. Really.
Right.
So going into a procedure like that, surgical procedure, you give whoever's working on you that trust. Come to find out, they working on you with, equipment that got HIV on it.
Right. That's like going to get a tattoo and they using the same needle over and over.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm already skep on them, so yeah, I mean that make me more not want to go in there.
It does.
Like I can't even trust you to use clean equipment on me. Like I can't even move because you got me under anesthesia and shit. and you just take this HIV. Like, what?
And it's fucked up though, because it's like, you know, not necessarily, even though, like I said, you put trust in that surgical doctor or whatever, but not necessarily is it his fault or her fault.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? Like, you know what I mean? If you find that out, like, man, it was just dirty equipment, do you then continue to blame the doctor, or do you, like, say, you know, fuck that hospital altogether?
I might just have to say fuck the hospital. Somebody ain't following procedures, and somebody ain't making sure that somebody following procedures. Yeah,
that's crazy. And I also feel like with them doing such a sensitive thing, there should be a second process in sterilizing the equipment.
Right.
You know,
double sterilizing.
Right, just like right before we do it, let's dip it in some rubbing alcohol or some hand sanitizer.
Yeah, like, I just feel like y'all should have caught it before 1,000. Like the lettuce, they caught it with like what 10 people. Why y'all couldn't do that?
That's a lot of people, yo. Just think about 1,000 people in a room, you would be a little cramped. So, damn, yo, you fucked up a lot of times. All right, moving on. Check this one out. Now, headline says, husband's fully intact body may have been in wife's freezer 11 years, Utah cops say. Now, this is a crazy story right here, bro. This is a crazy story. Now, I'm just going to paraphrase. I ain't going to read it off of the, thing. But basically what happened was this old woman was living in an apartment. She died. And the maintenance men, they didn't hear or see anything happening in that crib for a minute. So they went to check on her, did a wellness check. Well, they found out she was dead in the house, in her bed. Mm-hmm. So then they do a little looking around in the house, and they find her husband in the deep freezer.
So he must have died, and she's like, nah, I'm holding on to you. Right. I want to see you every day.
I don't know if that's the case.
That probably kept her alive them next 11 years. You know what I mean?
That shit crazy. But see, that's the thing. They talk to the neighbors and shit, and they say, some of them say they seen someone over there within a year, and the other ones say, I ain't seen him in like 11 years. Yeah. So that shit is crazy. Like, man, how can people think like that? You know what I'm saying? How do you grab a logical thought and I'm sorry, how did you grab the logical thought that, you know what, I'm gonna put him in the deep freezer? Like, how do you think of that? And then leave him in there for years.
She ain't had the money to get him stuffed.
Get him stuffed.
Taxidermy, man.
Not get him
people
stuffed.
Be holding on to their dogs. Why not their husband?
Damn, that's kind of true, but that's a little bit,
too much.
It ain't though. When you think about it, it's not too much, because at one point in time, humans used to mummify people.
True.
So like, it wasn't seen,
But nowadays,
yeah,
they ain't going.
Nah, not at all. All right, this is one. You might even heard of this one. This is kind of really, really trending right now. But and for the listeners, this is another piece of trending news. UPS workers allegedly trafficked thousands of pounds of drugs and fake vape pens across the country. UPS workers, allegedly. Now, that's crazy, but it's not that far-fetched, though. Like,
does it specify what kind of drugs, or they just weed vape pens?
Okay. Like the packages, it say the packages containing weed, vape pens, and more lucrative narcotics, so probably cocaine or something.
They got away with it that long, they cold. That's all I got to say.
Now, like I say, they I don't know if I said it, but I saw something else on this. They was doing it for a whole decade.
Super cold.
A whole decade, man. I don't know. I didn't really read into it because, I just kind of wanted to just take it on at face value. But I really want to know what got them caught.
Right.
What changed? It had to be something to change in their process.
Somebody done switched up on them or something, man. Or they got to watching the cameras one day, seen some fishiness going on. But, They pushed it too long. You already, a decade, bro. You should have stopped at 9.
But after,
y'all ain't had your money by then.
Shit.
Go legit. What's up?
After about 5-6 years, you like, we can do this for life. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah, they tripping, bro.
Shit, man. For like 10 years. Oh my God. How much money was y'all making? I'll tell you what it probably was, though. Just a theory here. It could have been the fact that they were selling the fake vape pens. If they would have stuck with just the weed and the coke or whatever, the lucrative narcotic maybe, and it could be pills. Right. You know what I'm saying? If they would have stuck with that, they probably would have been straight. But when you start dealing with the vape pens and motherfuckers start passing out and shit, you know what I mean? That can link that to you a little bit easier.
Right. Because they already on that. I done heard a whole bunch of commercials on the radio. They trying to cancel the vapes, blame the cigarette companies and whatnot.
Yep. That is all facts. So we're going to move on to our next segment in the show. It's one of my favorite segments in the show. It's called Sticky Sitchies. It's when I speak on a sticky situation and we just kind of go about it. Now, this one is kind of a long one because I came up with it myself. And it's based off of something we talked about on our last episode where this girl, it happened twice, another time before. But just check this out. So say you meet a girl, you hit it off, and eventually you start dating, right? And then you find out your new girlfriend has an ex that still texts and calls her, but that's not the problem. The problem is, along with this, you also find out that the ex is a little cuckoo and a bit obsessive. So you take it upon yourself to talk to the guy, and while talking to him, he tells you he's going to kill himself if he can't have the girl back. So you simply say, do what you got to do. Right? These are let's say these are text messages. Right. Do what you got to do. And then in your mind, you calling his bluff. You know, you don't believe he going to really do it. You don't take him serious. But you also got to keep in mind that your new girlfriend never really spoke on him. You don't know much about him at all.
Right.
So, make a long story short, the ex commits suicide, right? A week later, police show up at your door and arrest you for murder on grounds that you encourage him to go along with it. How do you feel?
What? Man, my lawyer better chew that bullshit up. What you mean? No, I'm not going.
Man, listen.
I ain't got nothing to do with him going ahead and going through with it. I said, do what you gotta do. I ain't say kill yourself. He said that shit. So apparently he ain't had no faith in himself that he could get his chick back. So fuck him. And RIP to the nigga, I guess. Shit.
Yeah, you might can say all that, but they not going for that. They gonna really put this on you. Plus, you know, they do this shit. That's what I'm saying. The last week's episode, we spoke on this girl who kind of was doing that to her boyfriend. He ended up committing suicide. But right before he did it, he was I think some of the last text messages she was sending back and forth to him, she was saying, you know, don't do it, don't do this, you know, it's for me, stop what you're doing, da da da. But they still trying to pin the murder on her or the suicide on her. So in this case, the sticky sitchy, they're probably going to definitely put it on you because you ain't even try to make them stop or try to get them to stop.
It ain't up to me to do that. That's his job to want to live. I ain't got shit to do with that.
Yeah, but shit.
Hey, man, if they put me in jail for that, then and my lawyer can't beat that. If he can't beat that, then ain't shit I can do about it.
Right.
I'm going to be okay with it. Nigga dead, fucking whatever.
If that situation happens like that, though, would you report it?
So if I had a chance before he
like right after that, you might have said do what you gotta do, but you reported it.
I probably would have said do what you gotta do for sure, facts, because I don't give a fuck about the nigga. But then I probably would have at least went and said something to my new chick, like, hey, your ex, I had confronted him, whatever, whoop, because I went with all the cuckoo shit, and nigga said basically if he can't have you, he gonna kill himself. I told him do what you gotta do. Not thinking he was really that dumb to just off himself.
Right.
You feel me? So I told him this though. You feel me? I don't know what he gonna do, but if you care about him, you might want to call some peoples to go check on him or whatever. They can check him in the clinic for 48 hours or how many hours that shit is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, you got this cuckoo ex. You know what I mean?
That shit is kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to tell somebody, period. But me personally, I don't feel like I would do that, though. You know what I mean?
I probably wouldn't, but you know what I mean? Like,
I think if I wouldn't even, because I wouldn't take it serious. I'd be like,
but now, with what you saying, you done seen.
Oh, it like happened twice.
Of actual situations.
Twice.
Now going in the future, I probably would because I know information now that I didn't before.
The first girl, I believe, is locked up as we speak because she did that shit.
But she get they didn't give her like no crazy shit, right? They gave her like what, manslaughter 4-5 years type shit.
I don't even know. Tell you the truth, I just know they locked her ass up, and I think hers was a little bit more encouraging as opposed to the second girl. The second girl did indeed try to stop him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at one point in time, she wasn't trying to stop him. You know what I mean? She was kind of like encouraging it. But then I guess she came to her wits and tried to get him to stop. But by that time, it's too late. And I don't think police or prosecutors are going to really give you a second chance on that because you already did the deed.
But at the end of the day, you ain't in control of nobody else. So prosecutors be tweaking.
That's a fact. All right, man, we're going to move on to our next segment of the show. This is when we speak on relationships. Now, I basically come up with, just whatever, dealing with relationships, and we talk about it. All right, so you and your partner have been together for a couple of years. When she forgets your birthday, you wait all day for her to acknowledge it, but by the next morning, she still ain't said a word. What do you do? Your birthday now.
My birthday, and my first birthday come around, or we been together? You said we've been together for a minute.
For a couple of years.
So you know my birthday.
She should.
And I did something for your birthday.
I mean, I would think so.
I'm gonna have a huge problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go off probably like. Soon as midnight passed when my birthday ended, I'm going on. I ain't even gonna wait till the morning. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, soon as my whole day was over with and you ain't said nothing, I don't care if you sleep. I'm waking you up and I'm going off. And if you don't make something shake like right then, like get me damn near one of the best gifts ever, we probably not gonna be fucking around no more.
I was about to say that. That was the next question. Would you end the relationship? Is that one of them things that, is that a deal breaker? Forgetting your birthday, is that really a deal breaker, or is that something you can get past?
To forget it and not even like say nothing at all, like not even say happy birthday, like it wouldn't even matter necessarily if you just forgot to get a gift. But if you at least said, "Oh, damn, I meant to do this woo woo woo, but shit got hectic this week. But happy birthday though, I got you later on." I'm cool with that. But you don't even say nothing.
What if she's very busy though? You know what I mean? What if she works?
How long it take to send a text?
Not much time at all.
Exactly. Your ass could have been sitting down eating your lunch and sent that goddamn text.
True.
Nowadays, you ain't even got to hit the buttons. You can say it.
And then it's okay. So say you forget though. Say the shoe on the other foot. You forget. Do you feel like that is a deal breaker? Do you feel like, or you feel like, oh, my Mac's strong. I can get my way out of that.
I mean, of course, you gotta feel like you can get your way out of it, but that don't mean I wasn't wrong.
Right.
I should never have forgot. They supposed to be important to me, so that's not something I'm supposed to forget. Now, if I forget some shit like our third week anniversary or some dumbass made up shit.
Yeah. What about an actual anniversary?
I mean, I ain't supposed to forget that neither, but it depends on how long we've been together. You know, how old I am. If I'm fucking in my 50s and my memory slipping, that's a little different. You feel me? But at 31, I ain't got no excuses for real. You feel me?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Me personally, I be forgetting shit.
Like a wedding. You talking wedding anniversary or when we first got together?
Whatever.
Or our first time, our first date anniversary. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Those things,
I'm not going to remember no first date anniversary. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Those things going to be, it's going to pertain to your girlfriend because if that's important to her, then you're going to probably make an attempt to remember it. But those things are also easy to forget.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. I remember your birthday. I remember a wedding anniversary.
So after you get married, you're going to be like, listen here, let me lay that on the ground rules. You got a birthday and you got an anniversary. You might get something on Valentine's Day. I ain't entirely sure.
Right. And it might not happen every year. You feel me?
Yeah.
If I ain't getting nothing on Sweetie's Day, which half of y'all don't even know what the fuck that is.
That's a fact.
Then I'm not going super hard on Valentine's Day, period.
Okay, and for listeners, Sweetest Day is the male Valentine's Day. Is when usually women buy something for their guy or do something for their guy. But man, yeah, that shit's crazy. I don't know, man. But let me try another one here. All right, so and I might have spoke to you about this off air, but can a married man co-sign for a place for his baby mama? I mean, his kid live with her.
He can, but I think that for real he should talk to his wife first. Mm-hmm. Not even necessarily for approval, but to let her know what's going on so she don't find out later through the mail or from the other bitch or whatever.
Right. I feel like, you don't need approval. You don't need approval.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yes, you should include your wife. That's important. Y'all supposed to have that communication. But as far as approval, like, babe, should I do this or not? Nah, man. If you feeling in your heart that you need to do that, then do it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, you got a good connection with your baby mama and you can trust her on some shit like that, then do it. But there's a lot of situations where, these motherfucking women ain't shit. Plain and simple. A bitch is a bitch, a whore is a whore, and there's a lot of them out there, and a lot of dudes knock them bitches up. Fuck it. It's the truth. And then they later on, they get married, try to do their shit, get their shit right, But here come baby mom. So, yeah, shit, you gotta be able to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Your wife shouldn't get in the way of that, period.
True. The kid is most important. So, if that's the best way to have your child in a good home, then that's what you got to do. You don't want if your kid if it's being in projects or Section 8 or in a crime-ridden community, or you co-sign and put them somewhere else. That's decent. Co-sign is always gonna be what you should go with. Period. Like,
yeah, probably so. You know what I'm saying? If you just don't give a damn,
unless that bitch not gonna pay the rent.
Yeah, don't put yourself in harm's way. Hell no, fuck that. Let that bitch drown. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, try to get custody of your kid. If that's the case, if she ain't gonna do shit, then just try to get custody of your kid, man. Don't even leave it up to chance. But even though I feel like two parents need to raise a child, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but do what you can. But after that, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me try one more. This one necessarily ain't got anything to do. Well, it kind of does. All right, so you're in a relationship, okay? Can your woman hang out with a group of whores and you feel as though those are just her friends? She ain't doing no whoring or nothing. They just her friends. With a group of whores, your girl hanging out with a group of round the way, everybody know they hoes. Can you let her do that and not feel some type of way inside?
Nah.
And why is that?
What's the saying go? How the saying go, man?
You tell me. Tell the people.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, if they doing that shit, she might not every time. Like, if she's steady hanging with them, mm-hmm. Eventually she gonna be doing the shit too.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, if motherfuckers smoking all the goddamn time, you just around them constantly. Eventually, you gonna smoke at least once. You feel me? At least once.
Probably.
I don't smoke like that for real. I had homies who smoke every goddamn day. I eventually hit it at least a couple times out the month. You feel me? Like, I might not do it every day like them, but eventually I might be having that bad day and I'm gonna hit that motherfucker. one of them days she might just be like, fuck it, and decide she want to be a hoe too.
That is true. But you're saying a lot of might and maybes. Does that make you an insecure man for feeling that way?
No, I think that make me logical.
You think that's logical?
It's logical that if, like I said, if you round something a whole every fucking day, eventually you gonna try it at least once, more than likely.
True.
Unless it's something like outrageous, like fucking cracking meth. If you get your mind right, you ain't doing that.
But that don't mean that you can still fall into that trap too. I mean, the same rule applies. It don't matter that the substance change.
You can if you on one of them depressed days. That's like you super depressed. You're like, man, you know what?
Let me get some crack. Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna say. I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say that much though, man.
Was that a reach? Was it a reach?
Yeah, a little bit. Cause look, all right. So I mean, it's in my mind, it's still an insecurity. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree with you, but we gotta accept the fact that there's an insecurity there. If I'm not a smoker and I'm hanging around smokers and they smoke all the time and they keep trying to make me hit it, you know what I'm saying? And eventually they're gonna probably give me the cold shoulder, and that insecurity in me is gonna be like, man, just let me hit it once. You see what I'm saying? I'm insecure so much where I'm like, I don't want to lose these friends. Like, I can't get friends that do what I do or whatever it is. I don't have to hang around that. I don't have to be around that.
I don't feel like you would lose your friends just because you don't indulge in that. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes they might not
gonna
hang with you as much because that's what they're trying to do at that moment. But that don't make them necessarily not your friend. That just make them not everyday friends, which is cool.
That means they ain't your friends. They turn from friends to associates. And if you a person that don't want to associate yourself with shit like that, then it's best that you just disassociate yourself with them. Just leave them alone, period.
Exactly, right. So in that case, if she ain't trying to be no whore, then she need not to be around them. So that's not insecure. That's logic.
But if, like you said, you ended up smoking, if you end up going through with it, there's an insecurity. If I feel like, you know, if I start to try to step in the way of her friendship with them, like, yeah, I don't want you hanging with them because everybody know they whores. That's an insecurity. You know what I'm saying? But if I can be like, you know what, just hang with them, do what you do, have fun.
I feel like it's not. I just feel like, okay, everybody know they hoes. Me and you together, and I don't want people calling you a hoe because you hanging with them or talking shit about you because you hanging with them.
Oh, because they gonna talk about
you feel me? So,
you know what I mean?
And then you're associated with me. So now I got to deal with shit being talked about you because you hanging with these bitches that's doing all this other shit. Yeah. Versus if you wasn't hanging with these bitches, if you hanging with some bitches that got their head right and ain't just worried about dick and shit, then we wouldn't hear none of this, and we probably would hear more good stuff in through the grapevine or whatever, or you would be around people who got more going on, and therefore you would have more going on.
Absolutely, I agree. You know, if you hang with a group of millionaires, bitch, we can get some money. If you hanging with a bunch of whores, you could probably still get some money.
Facts.
Hell yeah, man.
But I don't want you to get that kind of money.
Nah, probably not.
Mama, I can't take you home to mama and you getting that kind of money.
Shit, if times was super hard, would you let your girl do that?
I need half.
Oh, man. Shit, yeah, I feel you.
But I got to be able to do the same thing.
You ain't going to do the same thing, man.
Why?
Because that shit don't work like that.
Oh, I just ain't going to give her half. You right, I'm cheap.
Nah, I ain't saying that.
I'm stingy with my money.
I ain't saying that. I'm saying it's gonna be hard. You gonna be fucking some weak ass Jones.
I'm gonna be fucking some sugar mamas, 56 and up.
Shit.
They need love too.
They gonna be like, I put some money under the jar up there in the front for you. You gonna get $25. I put some money under the cookie jar up front, my candy dish. Look at that. But all right, so we're gonna move on to the next segment of the show. This is my guaranteed favorite part of the show. It's called Put You On. It's when me and my guests put the audience on to something new, whether it's music, movies, whatever it is. And I'll start mine off. What I want to put y'all on to is a wonderful HBO TV show. and it is called Watchmen. Now, I'm a very big fan of Watchmen, first and foremost. But this right here is by far the best thing I've seen or read. It's a great show, and I encourage you all to watch it. I don't really want to give too much about it. I just want you guys to go ahead and just get into it. And more specifically, the 6th episode. They're on the 6th episode now. The 7th is coming out soon. But the 6th episode has to be the best piece of television that I've ever seen in my entire life. No exaggeration. So definitely, Watchmen is a must-see. So what you got?
I'm trying to put y'all on to this thing called Afterpay. If y'all don't know nothing about it, it allows you to purchase items from different stores online, paying 25% down, and they ship it to you. After that, for the next 6 weeks, you're going to pay every 2 weeks that 25%.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing for people trying to budget or who don't like coming out a lot of money all at once. They have stores like Levi's, True Religion, GOAT, who has like a lot of sneakers that are like exclusive.
Top
you know what I mean?
line.
So if you like not looking like nobody else, you know what I mean? You can go there. They got the Yeezys. If you won't pay that much, they got them. Shit that probably wouldn't never come out in your city, or I mean, if you in a small town, you probably wouldn't be able to get them. They got OVO Jordans. They got everything. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
And depending on what size you wear, you might have to pay a little more. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
As far as GOAT. But anyway, we're gonna go back to the Afterpay.
Yeah, just check out Afterpay.
You know
pretty much. I use it.
They
myself,
got an app. You know what I mean? So you can go straight to the app, and it can show you all the different places that they have, and then it'll link you to their internet site for that particular store. But yeah, check it out, man.
Right, man. So that's the end of the show. We're gonna go ahead and conclude. I'm gonna leave y'all with where to find me at. Instagram is at Keys KEYZ 757, and also at Up for Debate TV on Instagram, and also check out Up for Debate on YouTube. Up for Debate TV on YouTube. You got anything?
Nah, I don't do social media, but I'm gonna holler at y'all another time, man. Had a good time with my boy Keys, man. It's your boy Mouse, aka Swim Team, aka Sushi with Manel.
All right, man. Look, that's the show, man. Up for Debate. Peace.